Day 2 of the Big East tournament in the Big Apple. This is Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at STJvNOVA.com. St. John's Red Storm versus the Villanova Wildcats at Madison Square Garden. This one tipping off at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN2. Villanova opened up as 5-point favorites. That number has been knocked down to 4.5 in the market, while the betting total is anywhere between 125.5 and 126. Definitely monitor any future movement in this particular game by going to SBRodds.com. 4-game losing streak for St. John's, 69-67 setback in overtime to the Marquette Golden Eagles last time out as 7-point home underdogs. That one taking place last Saturday, and it's all about the underclassmen for St. John's. 96% of their team scoring comes from freshmen and sophomores, but they're going to be missing their most dynamic player on the offensive end. Of course, D'Angelo Harrison, the sophomore, was suspended by head coach Steve Lavin on March 1st, so he's missed a few games, averaging 17.8 points on the season, and he's been dynamic against the Villanova Wildcats in his 2 career meetings against them, including a game-high 36 points and a 98-86 overtime loss in the Big East opener for these two teams. That one coming in overtime. St. John's a 7.5-point road underdog, and he scored 28 points as a freshman in this series, so he's definitely going to be missed with those combined 64 points. Head coach Steve Lavin, of course, has brought in a wealth of talent since taking over the program. This team was, and this program was, a bit downtrodden before he arrived. Number 3 recruiting class in 2011 and the 8th best recruiting class in 2012. So there is still some talent on the floor for him. School record 226 block shots for St. John's. That also leads the nation. So this team's going to be able to mix it up a bit with Villanova in the paint. Should be able to limit them offensively. They are 0-3 against the spread in conference tournament games the last 2+ seasons, failing to cover those games by an average of 6.3 points. Villanova snapped a 2-game losing streak and likely punched their ticket to the 2013 NCAA tournament, which will start next Thursday, of course. Villanova picking up a 67-57 victory over Georgetown as 1-point home favorites. That game coming a week ago. 3-0 against the spread when playing on 5 or 6 days rest. Their head coach Jay Harris has done a tremendous job with this team this year. 0-4 against the spread as road favorites of 3.5 to 6 points the last 2+ seasons. Why do I mention that road favorite betting trend? Is the fact that St. John's actually plays a good amount of their home games at Madison Square Garden. The Wildcats' 98-point performance against St. John's was a season high for them, but 15 of those points did come in overtime. They've allowed only 63.8 points during Big East regular season play. That's such a dramatic improvement from a year ago when they allowed 75.6 points per game against conference opponents. A big reason why they finished the regular season conference-wise with a winning record. Opponents shooting 36.9% from the 3-point stripe. Something to definitely look at as this tournament progresses if Villanova advances, and of course in the NCAA tournament, as teams may be able to take advantage of their perimeter defense, but St. John's does not have the roster to do it, shooting 27.6% from beyond the arc. I'm going to play the under here, under 126. St. John's has gone under the total in all their last 5 games as home underdogs of 3.5 to 7 points, and both of these teams both games in the Big East Conference Tournament went under the total on Tuesday. I expect that trend to continue here. So my official pick, under 126 in Wednesday night's game featuring the Villanova Wildcats and St. John's Red Storm. Definitely follow me for any further information on this game on Twitter at Jeff Grant Sports. This has been another edition of Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com. Cut.